And hello there. Well, this is impressive. Someone is watching already. Okay, or something happened here because it's been live streaming already for 20 seconds. Okay, while I was setting up the camera. Okay, so I have some challenges with the light here. I am in my car. Well, I'm in a rental car. And hi there, all the usual suspects, isn't that what they say? It's nice to see you. I missed the ferry and I will have to be waiting for 3 hours. It's 1:30 a.m. I believe. I've been driving for many hours. I was doing on stage interview, and to be honest, I was so tired when I was driving back, so I had to stop and close my eyes for a little bit. It's better to stop and close your eyes than to do that while you're driving on the highway. And yeah, I guess hold on. I'm going to have to put the camera somewhere. Hold on. Now let's see here if I can. What I'll do is I'll switch the car on. It's a very modern car with and we have lights. Is that better? That should be better. And hold on. Yeah. Okay, so we have some light. We have some heat in the car. I was not, I have a rental car, so, and in my normal car, I have obviously some survival items. So I have Jervenduk. It's like an emergency blanket. So I could wrap that around me because it's quite cold actually, and I only have a t-shirt. I have a t-shirt underneath here, and I have a Thor's hammer. It's a flint striker actually, and a troll cross. So no trolls here, and I can make some fire if I need to. But yes, so lots of people joining live stream, so that's good. It's good to see you all. And good evening. Yeah, so it's evening now in the USA, I guess. This is the third live stream today, and yeah. So I want to talk about something actually while I'm sitting here. Can't wait to see in the woods again, says Ken. Well, I agree. I can't wait to see myself in the woods again. Well, or to get into the woods again, I would say. So yeah, I was just to recap. I am waiting. I missed the ferry, the last ferry. The last ferry across the fjord when left at midnight, and so I missed that ferry, and now I have to wait here for 3 hours, and it's quite cold. It's quite cold outside actually, and I didn't prepare well. I didn't like proper clothes. I didn't bring in the proper clothes because I didn't plan to sit in my car for that long. Now, I want to talk about business ethics or life ethics, really. Because while I have been making the videos on my main channel and these videos as well, I have also been working obviously with my books, but there is also, you know, the business side to everything. I have turned down quite a few offers. AJC, thank you. First I have to wait for 3 hours. Yeah, so, well, I have turned down quite a few offers. Some of those offers involved a lot of money. Now, the way I see it, you know, for me as a writer, it's about, you know, selling the rights to, you know, film, you know, like movies and TV series and so on. And there's a question, Paul. Yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about that actually. And there are things I can't say, and there are things I can say. Because I have worked, at this point I can say that I have worked actually quite a bit with film crews. I wouldn't compare my own filming of the YouTube videos to anything, you know, like making a TV series. But still, you get a little bit of an understanding of what goes into it. A little bit, you know, tiny bit. So I turned down 2 offers from 2 different production companies just weeks ago. Before that, I turned down an offer that involved me being a TV presenter with quite a famous Hollywood actress. And it's basically in all of those instances, it has been because of I didn't think they would do it in a proper way. I didn't think that they would be able to keep the quality and the sincerity that I require if I'm going to be involved in something. So that's why I turned down the offers, and also there is money involved, and you know, at this point, the English speaking series is worth a lot of money when it comes to the film rights. Also, I have become quite assertive. It's at some point, you know, it became quite evident to me that what I'm doing is I'm not here to make money for me. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not here to make money for me. I am what I'm doing is I'm preparing the income stream for my kids in the future. And that you know, when you start thinking about it like that, and I think it goes for all people actually, if you start to think about things like in that way, you know, you become a lot more assertive, you become a lot more, dare I say, ruthless. But it's not being ruthless, it's being, you don't take any nonsense from anyone anymore, you know. And it's like, I have no problem telling people I don't need your money, because that is the truth. I don't need your money. What I'm doing at this point is I'm making money for my kids. I'm preparing the income stream for my kids in the future. And when you start thinking about it like that, it becomes almost impossible to go for anything but the best solution. So there are things I can't talk about yet, but I will be keeping you up to date on this. I am actually, my education, I am actually, my education is in economics and business administration, which is a bit surprising to people sometimes, but I also specialized in starting up businesses. That was my that was what I specialized in my last year in university. So I didn't, you know, I never worked like an employee in that field, but I'm very glad today that I took that kind of education. Actually, I'm glad. So because I'm using that almost on a daily basis now. Well, Paul, that's very nice of you to say. I have made mistakes. I have also gotten to the point where I feel I don't have, it's now, it needs to happen now, and I can't make more mistakes. So how should I put this? I don't play around with things anymore. Well, maybe I never did, but there was a little bit of an instance at stage tonight. It was, and it was not. It was very unnecessary. I don't want to get into details on that, but I'm going to talk a little bit about it because, you know, it was the way I see it was yeah, I was there with another author, and you know, we are basically there to sell books. You know, that's why we're there. We are there to talk about our books, and I'm not there to joke around. I'm not there to, well, I can make jokes, of course, but but not on yeah, I'm not sure how much I can say about this, but let me just say that as an example, first of all, let me say that it was not the last two, this night and the last night we were on stage. It wasn't a pleasant experience for me. It wasn't because it's difficult to talk about in a way, but you know, don't make jokes, don't joke around with the other guy on stage. Don't try to make him look bad in any way, The way I see it is that when your publisher is giving you the privilege to be on stage and talk about your book, do that. Talk about your book. And understand that if there are other authors there, give them the room to talk. And do not try to push them down in any way. Because first of all, your publisher don't want that. And also it's going to backfire instantly. So yeah. Okay, so just let me just say that I brought my axe, my Dane axe. Well, one of my Dane axes. I have one which is an earlier design and one which is a design that it's actually the main character's axe in the novels. And the other authors said that well, I said actually this is the Dane axe is in no way a primitive weapon. It's a very advanced weapon. Because if you know, I know some of you guys on the live stream here now, you know quite a bit about the Viking Age, you know about medieval warfare, and obviously, I mean, we know that the Dane axe is a very advanced weapon. Using a Dane axe was required a lot of skill, and probably a lot more training went into using the Dane axe than I would say any other close combat weapon. And you can talk with people, you know, who train with blunt weapons and ask them, and they will probably say that, well, I know, not probably because I have asked them, that the Dane axe is a very difficult weapon to master. It takes a lot of training, but when you do master it, you understand how advanced that weapon is. And so the other, I said, this is, you know, it's not a primitive weapon. It's actually a very, very advanced weapon. And the other author said it was a primitive weapon. That's what he said. And the setting was so the setting was so that I could not really reply to that, but you know, it kind of, first of all, it's not good to talk like that about, you know, disagree with the other author and basically say that, you know, you don't know what you're talking about. But if, you know, I don't know what to say. I mean, if you claim that the Dane axe was a primitive weapon, you don't understand medieval warfare. It's just, you lack the basic, you lack basic understanding then, you know, and that kind of upsets me in a way. It upsets me. So yeah, let me look at the comments here. Let's see here. Oh, that's very nice of you, Patricia. Yeah, and hold on. The Danax is not primitive. It was, hold on, sorry about this. Cutting edge in metallurgy at the time. Yes. Yeah, AJC says it was not primitive, period. You know, there's all, you know, when it comes to the Danax, which I've studied quite in detail, and I have made, you know, the main character's axe in detail. It's here. I have it, and also the way it was used, probably, in the armies, and in combination with other. You would use it, the way you used it in the armies. It was very advanced, very advanced. So, yeah. Now, assertiveness. Hold on. When I worked as a therapist, we talked a lot about assertiveness. We talked a lot about assertiveness, and I want to talk about assertiveness now because it seems to be something that you develop as you get older, but I would say it's a very good thing if you can develop your assertiveness at a young age. Now, okay, there's a little bit of a delay in the comments here, maybe. Yeah. Okay. Yes, I think we all agree that the Danax was not a primitive weapon. It's, yeah, it's quite obvious. I thought it would be obvious to everyone. Now, and I did bring the axe because I was asked to bring the axe. That's why I brought it, and it was very popular. The Danax is always popular. Well, not if you use it. Not if you are at the receiving end of the Danax, then it's not popular at all. When it comes to assertiveness, I would say that it is a skill that people seem to develop as they age, but you should try to develop your assertiveness at a young age. It's about, we don't have actually a very good word for it in Norwegian. Yeah, my car battery. Yeah, I know, this is, thanks for reminding me, but this is actually a hybrid, and it just started up the engine to charge the battery. So I think we'll be okay. But thanks for reminding me. It's a rental car, and I actually like this car. Yeah. So assertiveness in your personal relations is a must, or else you will be taken advantage of. Assertiveness in business and work is also a must, I would say, or else you will be taken advantage of. Oh, thank you. So, and there was a comment here about artists and being taken advantage of. You know, people being smart and well, you're welcome, AJC. People being a bit too smart, you know, and they are having artists to sign deals, and the artist himself or herself end up with nothing in the end. And when I say nothing, I'm not kidding. Nothing. You end up with nothing. No income. Because your agent takes his part or her part. For instance, the production company takes his part or her part. No, its part, sorry. It's very late. I've been up for like almost 24 hours now. Is it? No, 20 hours. And yeah. So you have to really, really think long term, and you have to be, you're not here. The way I see it, and I always say this at home to my wife, is that when it comes to business, I'm not there to make friends. I'm not there to make friends. Friends is a bonus, but business comes first. And I'm okay with having no friends in my line of work. That's okay. But I would say that my Norwegian publisher, I'm very impressed actually. They are very nice and warm people. Actually, I'm actually surprised. They are good people. Yeah. But when it comes to business as a whole, you have to be assertive. You have to be assertive. And to reply to some of the comments here, you can come across as a bit aggressive. I know. But what can you do? You have to really be honest and straightforward about what you want and what you cannot accept, because most of the offers you will get will be offers you should not accept. Actually, that's, looking back, I would say it's like 3 out of 4 offers are totally unacceptable. So you're going to have to say no to most offers, and you're going to have to say no to potential income in order to secure the income for the next generation, your kids. And that's when you, I would say, especially when you are, if you're an artist or you're in a line of work where you create something that will create passive income, then you have to make sure that that passive income comes to your kids. That's very important. Now, let me see if I switch the light off, what happens then. Are we still okay? I do realize that this is not much to look at. So it doesn't matter if I switch the light off, I guess. Do you want to be the wolf or the sheep? Exactly. You know what? I said at one point to my editor in what was then my Norwegian publisher. It was not the publisher that I'm connected to now. It was a different publisher, and I said, my books are going to be bestsellers, so that's just going to happen. And they kind of, I don't think they took me seriously, but I said so. And I said, I believe, actually, I also said, now listen, I have been told all my life that it's very unlikely that you will be able to reach your goals. Yeah, it's just been people, and we can all relate to this, people will try to put you down, especially in Norway, I would say, because we have this mentality here that you shouldn't think you're better than anyone. But come on, I mean, you have to think you're better than most people, actually. You have to think that. And I know it's like it's almost illegal to say that, but you have to. If you don't think you're better at what you're doing than other people in the same line of business, then why would you be in that business at all? Because then you will never succeed. Then you have to be better. You have to be better. And if you're not better at this point, you have to improve your skills. You have to work hard, and you know, there is no way around that. You know, and it never stops. It never stops. You have to improve every single day. And we have that here in Australia. We call it the poppy syndrome. Was that it? And yeah. Now, let me just tell you a story. At this point, I think I don't want to mention the actress's name, but it was like these Americans, they called me up, and this is, I don't know, a year ago. I think about 1 year ago, they called me up. No, it was in the middle of the summer, I think. So a little bit more than a year ago. Last summer they called me up. I think it was last year. And they said, and this was a production company, and they said, well, we want you as a TV presenter, and we're coming to Norway to film, and they they expected me to do it for free. So they started there, you know, quite cheeky bastards they were. And they said that, but you will you can sit and eat your lunch at the same table as the celebrity. That's what they said. The celebrity and the actors and the rest of the film crew. And I was like, yeah. Sorry that I'm being a bit rude. It's that time of the night where I'm a little bit rude, but it was like, listen, you don't get to pay me. You don't get to pay me in, you know, what do you think? Do you think it's worth anything for me to sit next to someone famous? I wouldn't pay like a krone, which is I wouldn't pay anything to sit next to celebrity, someone famous. I don't care. What do you think? You know, it's like it was mind-boggling to me. I think the word is mind-boggling to me that they would even think such a thing. I mean, what? So I said, okay, you can pay, and here's what I need you to pay. I need to be to have your script. I need to have the script so that I can prepare when it comes to the facts. I need a little bit of background information, and that they couldn't provide. So I declined their offer. I chose not to cooperate with them, not to work with them. Yeah, Hollywood thinks very highly of itself. Let's talk a little bit about Sea Solders and Samantha. Yeah, it's like they only want to make a fool of you. Yeah, Hollywood you know, I don't know what to say. I think we all at this point know that Hollywood is, the movie industry is Hollywood is going, going down the drains. They're not the movies that, at least the movies that I see here in Norway. That's mostly movies I don't care about. I wouldn't waste time watching them. Yeah, that's Sea Soldier says Hollywood, they are trash. I don't even watch movies anymore. So now let's see here. Wonder if they'd be good company in Norwegian wood, sitting next to having a bacon sandwich. So to be blunt, but screw Hollywood. Yeah, well, it's like they think very highly of themselves. It's true. And it's strange in a way, because I mean, they must know that people don't view them as, gods. It's like they think so highly of themselves that it's like they're almost, well, we are so great here, and the common people will pay money to sit next to us. Or they can work for free if they are allowed to sit next to us. I would say that this actress was not involved in that, probably, but so it's not her fault, probably. But it's like, at this point, I wouldn't. If a movie comes from Hollywood at this point, for me, it's a minus. It's like I'm skeptical. If it comes from Hollywood, if it's a Hollywood production, I'm skeptical, because the quality is not great, and they are mixing in their political agendas. And there are so many of those actors who are a little bit too outspoken about things they know nothing about. And it's this thing where you will have an actor who starts talking in public, to some journalist about a topic that he or she has no education in at all. And why would I listen to an actor about, we have talked about climate change on my main channel, so let's use that as an example. Why would I listen to an actor about climate change? Why? They are not educated in climate change. They are not educated in physics. I can't. It's a bit late. I can't translate all those relevant professions right now, but into English. But they are actors. They are not experts on climate change. They are not experts on social issues. I would rather say that they live in this bubble. So they should rather be distrusted than trusted. They fly around in their private jets, some of them, and I know it's a minority of them. I don't think it's that lucrative to be a Hollywood actor or actress. I don't think so. I think it's very lucrative for agents and the industry as a whole, but probably not for those actors. But they gave this impression that, it's basically it's all smoke and mirrors. Yeah, it's like, what's this guy? I think plays played Iron Man. No, that was not the guy. Sorry, I can't remember. Why? But anyway, why would I listen to an actor? I would rather listen to someone with an actual education in that field, you know. Yeah. So that's that. Now, what do you feel about 3 live streams in the day? I think this is third live stream today. Well, this is not today for me. It's the morning, the day after. So it's well, that's very nice of you to say. Yeah, a long day. It's a long day. For those of you who just are new to this live stream, I missed the ferry, and I have to wait for 2 more hours. Now, the first ferry leaves very early. Yeah, Kelly from Maine, glad to see you as well. Yeah, Greta Thunberg. Yeah, well, let me talk a little bit about that, because I think at this point we need to talk about it. And I mentioned it in my first live stream yesterday. I saw a little bit of that soon-to-be infamous speech that she did at the UN. Is it called UN? United Nations? That strange organization dominated by countries we don't want to have a relation with. Yeah, lots of comments now. That's great. What I was seeing was a kid reacting to a prolonged period of stress. That was what I was seeing. Now, most people, they don't realize the stress that goes into sailing across the Atlantic. Even if you're sailing with a crew, like she did, she was, I don't know how active she was and how she was able to maintain her, normal sleep patterns and so on. But it makes a difference when you sail across the Atlantic. Yeah, the same UN that has Saudi Arabia on the human rights panel. It's a joke. It's a fucking joke. It's and you can't respect that. You can't respect an organization like that at all. So it's and by the way, I think it's corrupt. I think it's a very corrupt organization. Now, Greta Thunberg is under a lot of stress, and she went straight from sailing across the Atlantic to massive media attention. It's not a good combination. I think the adults around her are behaving very irresponsible. I think they need to pull her out of that mess. I'm not sure, but it could, it could develop into actually a psychosis. She could get very disturbed if she's not already. She has Asperger's, so she will have some issues handling her own emotions. It's going to be a little bit more challenging for her, and yeah, poor child. It's a shame, because I think she could do great things, but now I think it's just too much stress, and it's developing. She could actually develop some serious issues. They need to get her out of that. A 16-year-old child is not fit to carry the weight of, you know, the world on her shoulders, like maybe she thinks that she's doing right now. Yeah, she needs to be a kid, not a prop. That's great. And it's not like I don't think she can think for herself. She can, but there is, and I know, and we all know, that there is a difference between what you perceive and what you see being fed back to you from the media. You know, what I mean is that for instance, when I do interviews, I don't like reading the interviews when it's in the newspaper, for instance, because I don't recognize that person, and very, very often, I would say most of the time, they change what I've said, and they twist it a little bit, you know. So and you will be quoted on that, but it's not my words, it's the journalists' words. They twist it a little bit. So, and I have had 20 years of getting used to that, and she's had, I don't know, are we talking weeks, months? It's too much. It's too much. And also there are lots of people who actually hate her and who don't care that she's a child, and they will mock her, and yeah. So that's not great. Tas's World says, I have Asperger's. I'm 50 now. It's not easy to deal with. I can imagine, actually. But it's very common among artists to have Asperger's. I guess you already knew that, but it's very common. Now, yeah, so maybe I told you this already in the other live stream. Yes, I think I did in the last live stream. I got a message as I was talking about YouTube's silver button that is waiting for me at the local post office. So that's awesome. It's I don't know how to do the unboxing video. I asked my Norwegian publisher, do you want to do anything around that? You know, is it like a PR thing, a marketing thing? And Paul B says, my eldest stepson has Asperger's. Yeah, it's quite common. I think also it's my generation. It was not. I don't know for sure, but I think maybe it was not diagnosed as often that back in those days. In a way, I'm glad, and in a way, it would have helped some people, if they had back then, But I know I have issues. I don't have Asperger's, but I was probably as a boy, I was, I had issues, I guess you could say, and I'm very glad that I grew up in the 70s, because today there would have been problems, and yeah. So but anyway, yeah, the silver button, I'm not being cool about it. I'm actually ecstatic I'm very happy about that, because I actually didn't think the channel would reach 100,000 ever. It was, you know, it's awesome. So I'm looking forward to do the unboxing. I'm really looking forward to that. Okay, so Samantha says, yeah, I read your comments, Samantha. The comments, they move up quite quickly here. Yeah, but back to the yes, 100,000 is a huge milestone. You have every right to be proud. I think we should be proud when we reach those milestones. You know, we should. And I'm going to talk about this in the unboxing video, but it's the way I see it. It's not my silver button. It's not my silver button. It's ours, because it's if it was only me, I would have no, or I could subscribe to my own channel and I would have 1 subscriber. So it's not, it wouldn't, that silver button would not be there if it wasn't for you. Of course, now I'm talking on my live streaming here on my second channel. This channel is a little bit more hidden, you know, so that's why I can say things I probably wouldn't say on the main channel. I know the main channel is being monitored in a way, you know, by people in Norway, and I will say what I feel like saying, but you know, it's also it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different. For instance, the way YouTube works, if I did a video like this one on the main channel, it probably would cost me lots of subscribers. People unsubscribe if they see something they're not used to, or if the quality of sound or the image is not great. So that's why I do it here on the second channel, and it's good to have this second channel. Yeah. Yeah, so what was I talking about? Paul says it's disagree. It is your silver button. Well, thank you. That's yeah. Yeah, I read what you wrote before the comment moved up, but yeah, you know, it's yeah, obviously, but also, you know, it's ours. It's mine, but it's also our button. So yeah. Well, thank you, Patricia. Wolf Moeller, Vikings love silver. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't think it's real. It's real silver. It just looks like silver. How are you doing this morning? Well, if you're new to this live stream, I was driving from the thing on stage there in Kristiansand, 3 hours drive, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I had to sleep, and so I pulled over and I slept a little bit, and I missed the ferry. So now I'm waiting for the first morning ferry. And I don't know, it's going to have to be, you know, there are emails and stuff waiting for me, but I have to sleep when I get back home. I have to sleep when I get back home. I have to sleep as other people have to sleep, I have to sleep as well. Um, how many hours? Well, now it's 2 hours. 2 more hours until the morning ferry. I'll have breakfast on the ferry, which is always nice. And when I get back home, my wife will be, let's see, yeah, she will be getting up, getting ready to go to work, and my kids as well. And my wife will ask me where I was, because I promised to be home at with the last ferry, and to but it's uh, I don't know. Um, I don't know. It's yeah. So I'll be delayed because with everything because I have to sleep, and then I have to go for another thing on stage. Um, that's tonight, but this one is for the public. That didn't come up right. This one is for the readings. No, it's not readings, but the interviews on stage. Have been for the employees in the bookstores in the city that we have been visiting. And not tomorrow, but later today, actually. It's for everyone. So people actually buy tickets, and it's the same tomorrow. So that instance, or that thing that happened, yeah, well, thank you. Monster energy drinks, yeah, well, I know it's not healthy, but I actually have one here. I actually have one here, and it's become, I've I've I drink too much of those energy drinks these days. You are hustling. Yes, I know. It's good as well to be hustling. I like that. It's I like that. So Tassis World says Paul B. Yes, that sounds very familiar. I did something similar. Yeah. So they are going to have a little bit of a chat at the publishing house, because we can't have things like that happening on stage with people paying, and you can't have that. It needs to be smooth. It needs to be everything needs to be smooth and engaging and funny and positive, and we need, everything needs to be 100% professional. Yeah, I actually plan to stop drinking sodas as well, but it's like at this point we're just hanging in there, I guess. I don't drink coffee, though, except the chocolate coffee in the woods. But that's I don't think there are that much coffee in those in that chocolate coffee. Mostly it's chocolate. Don't forget to brush your beard before you go on stage. Yes, I do. To the best of my abilities, I do brush my beard. Yeah, well, I don't drink coffee because my stomach disagrees with coffee. Tea is, yeah, I can drink tea, and yeah, mocha coffee. That's weakness of mine. Um, yeah, so lots of comments now. That's awesome. Yeah, I think energy drinks is the only vice I have left as well. It's I never had many vices, but it's I don't drink alcohol. I don't drink coffee. I don't. Yeah, so. But it's also it costs money, and I guess water is a better drink. Water is the ultimate drink, I guess. Yeah. So back to the assertiveness. I'm going to talk a little bit about we were filming. I can tell you, I guess, we were filming ads. That was yesterday. And it, with a film crew there, and the actor, he did a great job and he looked the part. But it was like I was there and I provided a costume, if you will, but I don't view my Viking clothes and my Viking weapons, my chainmail and helmets and all that as a costume. It's not a costume. It's the real thing. So I had to be assertive in that situation. No, right, that's not a costume. It's not a costume. I had to be assertive because, I just had to say, no, you can't do that. No, you can't show his face. No, you can't do it like that. You can't do it in that angle. And I said straight out to the director, this is not the day for artistic freedom. And I'm the boss. Yeah, it's it's so much simpler when you just say it out, straight. And people might not like that, but I don't have the energy to fool around and be, I don't know. You just have to, I've learned that you just have to say, you just have to be honest and straightforward. And again, you don't necessarily want to make friends in business. You are there to secure the income stream for your kids. I wish young people would understand that. They may not like it, but they respect it. Yeah, and I wish more young people would understand that. Because I wish I had understood it, straight from the start. Like, it would have made things easier. And Patricia says, don't kid yourself. People respect you when you're genuine. Yeah, it's true. And also, I guess you get to a point where you don't care if people like you. That's also essential. You need to be in a place where you don't really care if people like you or not. That is actually quite important. And GB says, I need to learn assertiveness. Was just thinking that earlier today. Yeah, we all need to constantly be assertive and be aware of that part of ourselves, I guess, because we're always pulled away from our assertiveness and into a state of acceptance you know, accept, like, we are pulled away from assertiveness and into being more accepting about everything, I guess. So yeah, there you have it, you know, assertiveness, we need that. Wolf Muller says, I don't care if people like me, but I'm fascinated to hear what they think. And let's see, these comments, they come in sometimes, lots of them, and sometimes it takes a few seconds before the new ones appear. Voss water from Norway tasted good. Yeah, I know. It's I've been to Voss. It's a winter sports place. It's great there. Lots of snow. And let's see here. Dapper Dan says, made it to a live stream. I don't know what to say. Yeah, Silto just says, this is how I play, and I'm not going to change my mind. Yeah. Things get so messy when you aren't direct. Yeah, and let me just say that, and you can all relate to this, I guess. When I sacrifice a lot to do these appearances on stage. Yeah, I saw that comment, so I'll try to reply. And thank you. Awesome. Thanks a lot. I sacrifice a lot to I mean, my wife is a police attorney. You know, the lawyers that make sure that criminals are put in jail. So it's the real deal. Yeah. No, I forgot what I was talking about actually, but I'll get there. Oh yeah, prosecutor. Yes. So okay, I'll talk a little bit about that actually. I can't talk that much about it because I can't. But just know this, that you will see. It's not cool, you know, when you see criminals to social media mocking your family. It's not, and they always present it like the police, the system are being nasty to them, and they did nothing wrong, and you know. But as a lawyer, as a prosecutor, you can't. Obviously, you can't. I'll tell you that. Thanks to your wife for her service to the society. I'll tell you that actually. And when these criminals, they use social media, and you know, they're not smart people, but they will sometimes use social media, and they will mock the prosecutor and her family. We had one instance. It doesn't happen often, but most of the cases we don't know about. Yeah, it's so ridiculous sometimes. You know, you can't reply. The prosecutor can't reply because that would be in conflict with all ethics. So don't believe everything people write about the police on social media. That's yeah. It's Trish says, spent part of my day learning I don't have cancer. It's been a good day here for me. I'm so glad to hear that. That's awesome. That's wonderful. Really glad. You must be very relieved. So wonderful. Happy tears. Yeah. There's a time for happy tears. Yes. Again, about being assertive. It's there is no way around it. You know, you have to be assertive. It doesn't mean being unfriendly, but it could mean, sometimes it means being less sociable, I would say. And sometimes that's just the way it has to be. I would say that with assertiveness comes also you have to improve yourself all the time, constantly, you know. But you know, I think I just jumped into that now. Let's just have cheers to Trish. I am sorry, but this is monster. But and it's almost empty. I was driving. I was very tired. I didn't know what to do. So very happy for you. Very happy. So yeah, good day. It's a good day. Samuel asks, Björn, any chance of your novels being translated to Portuguese? I am. Yes, that was a monster. I just had the last. It's empty now. They have on my car as well. It's very unhealthy. I'm sorry. Portuguese. I am getting a new agent. I'm going to look into that to have the novels published in more languages. So hopefully I will have good news very soon. Someone says, I will happily help with your English if you want. Well, that's some. It has to start with the publisher. You know, you need an English language publisher, and any chance you might be able to come to the US for a book tour? Yeah, I will do that when there is a publication out in English. It's not going to be. I don't know when that will happen, but it has to happen. You know, it needs to happen very soon. So I can't obviously give you any dates. I just come to the US for the heck of it. Yeah, well, I will wait and be a proper book tour. I think it will be quite substantial, that tour. When it happens, it will be a lot of touring. Now, if you come to Oregon, there are always trees everywhere. Yes, I like, for some reason, maybe because the movies I've seen and so on, and old movies and the books I've read, the East Coast and those forests there, it's very, especially, it fascinates me a lot, you know, in the US. And so, but I don't know that much. I'm nowhere near an expert level on American what would you, botany, is that the word? Trees and so on. I don't know. I don't know. I know a little bit about those because I looked into that, but yeah. Now, it's going to be, this day is going to be a little bit funny. It's going to be challenging because I have to drive. I have, well, thank you for signing the petition. Thank you. It's going to be, I think, I have to sleep first, and then I'll walk the dog, I'll feed the dog, feed myself. I'll try to train a little bit, lift some weights, walk up in the forest. And then actually I have to go, then I have to check the emails, then I have to sort out, they have to change the setting, the whole on stage thing there. We can't have what happened today happen again. Yeah, some protein. I've only eaten carbs all day. It's been horrible. It's been horrible, disgusting. And then I drive to yet another city, on stage there, and then I have to drive back home. It's actually a 3-hour drive from my home, but there is no ferry, straight drive. Okay, I don't use, if that message was for me, I don't use Messenger, and the reason for that is that I'm on a tight time schedule, and people seem to reach out through Messenger when they opinion my novels, and at some point I didn't want to be that accessible. It was just too much. I tend to fact check everything, and if I have a question about my books or details in my books, and I have to fact check that as well. I shouldn't do it, but it takes time. So that's why I'm not replying to any Messenger messages. Have you ever used beads in your beard or hair? No, I haven't. Very cool, especially if you have a very long mustache. No, okay. Sorry. Paul B says, I met a few celebrities in my life, but I'd be hard pressed to not be giddy if I had a I'm a celebrity. I have said before that I've actually been recognized on the street on a few occasions, but it's a few. Well, a few means for me, like, not many times, okay? And it's been awkward every single time, and it's been very awkward. So yeah, but I've met, I have also met some very famous people, and I must say that they've all been very nice people. I think actually that if you, example, I have this, maybe it's a naive thought, but I think that actually if you are in the line of business, like actors, for instance, I talked, you know, about actors a few minutes ago in a negative way when they start, you know, they start to talk about things they don't know anything about. But I met some actors who are quite famous and well known, and they've all been very nice. I must say, but I don't know. Bob Geldof, okay. Yeah, was he nice? Was he a nice guy? I already accepted the Grow Out of Bed challenge about 5 years ago. Yeah, that's awesome. And Paul B says I have. That's the Grow Out of Bed challenge. Okay, I've lost track of the comments now. Best Kravist 518 says best thing I've ever done. Yeah. Okay. Now let's see. It's about grave before shave. Yeah. Yeah. About the question there about Viking braids. It's like, I don't know. I haven't looked into it. It's if quite some time ago I realized that I can't know everything about the Viking Age. It's not possible. So, for instance, the braids, I haven't looked into that. I don't know. I have looked at some photos of finds, like archaeological finds, and you know, some here has been preserved and so on, and you can kind of imagine from that how their braids looked like, but I wouldn't know. Yeah, and also yeah, like you just wrote there, we haven't found that many it's impossible for us to know all the hairstyles they had, you know. It's because we haven't found that much from the Viking Age, so they probably had hairstyles that we don't know about, and that goes for most things in the Viking Age, or any age really. So we should always be open for, you know, possibilities, I guess, because some people actually have this attitude that if you haven't found it, like in an archaeological dig, sorry, then you know, it didn't happen. It's that's a foolish attitude to have, because you have to be a little bit more intelligent. It's a very rigid attitude to have. Yeah, we only know, you know, 1% of how things were done culturally in the Viking Age. The time it took to do those styles too. Yeah, you know, I bought a new comb for, you know, your hair, That's it's a replica of I find. I'm bringing that to the on stage tomorrow. I want to, you know, people like when you have items. You know, they like when you have some items to show them, and they, I think they kind of have this attitude. They have this view of the Vikings as being barbarians. That's it's very sad, but it's I try to talk about um, other aspects of the Viking Age. So I'm bringing the little comb with me. It's beautiful comb. Um, yeah, that's tomorrow. I should have brought it today, but I don't know if this other author is discrediting everything I bring, everything I say. What can I say? What can I do? Now they have to change up the whole setting there, you know, or else I will be grumpy. I will be grumpy if this happens again. I will be very grumpy. Yeah, hopefully you can find a publisher here that is not on some stupid agenda. Yeah, that's been an issue as well, probably. It's, you know, those people are not being professional. They shouldn't have an agenda at all. They should only care about the quality of the books, and yeah. I'm going to end this live stream soon. Now let's see here. Lots of comments. Paul says my wife teases me about my white beard, calls me Santa. So I happily remind her that Santa came from Norse myth. Yeah, you know, there's this legend that Odin around I tend to say Christmas, but I should say in Norwegian it's Jul, which is the so-called heathen term, you know, and he would visit the human, the us mortals around juletider, and that's where the legend of Santa came from. Odin had 8 legs. Okay, it's a little bit difficult to keep track here. No. Okay, here's the comment. An 8-legged goat. I'm not pointing out errors here, but it's his horse had 8 legs, you know. So Sleipnir, or Sleipnir, as you say, 8 legs. How do you spell that Norwegian Christmas? Jul. It's J-U-L. Oh yeah, Santa has 8. Oh yeah, that's a very good point. Santa has 8 reindeer, and yeah, I never thought about that. 8 reindeer, and Sleipnir has 8 legs, and yeah, maybe that's I never thought about that. Yeah. Yeah, Thor, he had his goats, Grisner, is it? How do you say that in English? Yeah, well, that's the names. If I pronounce that incorrectly, I'm sorry. But yeah, 2 goats, and you know, he would brutally slaughter one of them when he was hungry, and he would You couldn't break the bones. You need to take the bones after you ate the meat. You take the bones in the skin, and he would do some magic with his hammer, and the goat would be alive again. So very practical, I must say. So yeah, yes, the American Santa with the red suit was invented by the Coca-Cola company. That's correct. And I know a little bit more about that actually, because my father was in advertising, and he in he told me that the guy in the red suit was a Swedish guy who actually the illustrator, and he used himself as the model for Santa. So, and he was apparently a corpulent guy with a white beard. so and he became the image of the modern Santa. That's what I was told, at least. Yeah, and the Saint Nicholas, I think it's a bit of a mixture today. I think that it doesn't, to me, it doesn't really matter that much, because Christmas or Yule is it's for the kids, the way I see it. I celebrate winter solstice, but and Yule, Christmas Eve, that's a few days, normally 3 days later, and that's for the kids, and you know, so I don't care if you call it Christmas or Yule, or, and you know, it's just, it's nice company, nice food, and lots of gifts for the kids. That's what it's about for me. But as I said, I celebrate winter solstice, because that's the darkest day, and the day after, slowly the days start becoming longer. We are moving towards spring time and summer, actually. So, and that matters up here in the north. Yeah. But people don't celebrate winter solstice. They do in a way when they're celebrating Yule or Christmas, but they don't really think that much about why we celebrate, maybe. But you know, the only single thing I enjoy about winter is the wood stove. Yeah, winter is nice though. How do you celebrate it? Well, I was celebrating. I used to celebrate, you know, like very modestly, just by taking a walk, thinking about it, feeling it, looking at sunrise and so on. But now I'm part of a local history group, not local history group, Viking history group, sorry. And we celebrate with dinner. We cook up some nice food outdoors, and we have dinner. Well, actually, it's in a large wooden lavabo. So it's become a tradition. We haven't done it for many years, maybe only 3 years, 2 years, 3 years, I think. So, and it's nice to have someone to celebrate that occasion with. Yeah. I am going to have to end this live stream now. My voice is a bit I'm feeling it on in my voice, and it's been a long day. It's been a very long day. Now I want to thank you for yeah, here's what I'm thinking. Part of me is thinking, okay, I called out a little bit of that, what happened on stage, and maybe I will get in trouble now because I said so, because I said, talked about it, but I don't care, and I won't get in trouble, and if I did, so what? I don't care. It's about assertiveness. That's the title here. It's about assertiveness. We all need to be more assertive. Yeah, and also I don't care. And I want to thank you for spending this time with me. It's awesome that you took the time. I hope that some of what I said made sense. And now it's you helped me actually wait here. You helped me while I was sitting here waiting because I was bored waiting for the ferry. So yeah, well, thank you. Thanks a lot. Wonderful. Set the alarm on your smartphone so you won't miss the ferry. Yes, well, what I will do, I will actually drive up to the to where you buy the tickets, and there will be certainly some people who will honk the horn in their car if I fall asleep. So yeah, where I'm waiting for the ferry. I missed the ferry, so I have 1 more hour to wait before the first morning ferry. So that's that. Yeah. Okay. I am getting ready to. Well, I'm not getting ready, but I'm planning. I'm planning the. I am planning the Saturday's video on the main channel. So actually, we're not done yet. Just let me know if you have any ideas, something that I can manage to film in a couple of hours, because that's all the time I have to do that before Saturday. So if there's anything you want to see, let me know now. Yeah. Is this too much English for tired eyes? Yeah, I'm getting old, you know. The unboxing. Yeah, if I'll do the unboxing on in that video if my Norwegian publisher and any other plans, because they might want to do some PR stunt around it. Yeah. Yeah, well, let me know in the comments. Yeah, I can get out of my car and breathe some fresh air. The only thing is that Viking hiking kit, that's a good one. Tarp tent, I have a tarp tent actually. Yeah, I only have a t-shirt under my thin jacket, and it's cold outside. So I'll stay in the car. Okay, this was a long live stream. I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Thanks for joining, and thanks for all your nice comments. I have to go now, and yeah, Viking hiking kit. I'll see what I can do. Okay, have a wonderful day, and we'll talk soon. Bye bye.